No.
What you cooking, man?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Iron Minds family. What is happening on this beautiful Tuesday morning? Tuesday, June 10th. We're ready to get some this morning. What's up, boys?
What's happening, Mr. Lombard?
Man, is it good to see you? It's good to see that it is bright enough outside at 6 a.m. It's not
I
completely
know.
pitch dark anymore.
I know, man. I don't have to be afraid I'm going to get well, I wouldn't say I don't have to be afraid anymore, but at least I could see if I'm going to get attacked by a wild animal on this on this route that I walk. Jessica's watching. She gets it. She understands.
Yes, she does. Nick, is your sound working? I don't know if we can hear you. So Nick is silent. But anyways, let's dive right into it. I've got an insane week today. I know I posted about it in our Slack group, which, by the way, if you're an Iron Minds listener, respecter, and you want to jump into our Slack group where I drop a nice quote daily and people post some of their wins. You feel free to send me a DM so we can get you that Slack invite. But a crazy weekend in store I have in front of me for anybody out there. I'm participating in what's called the Texas Water Safari. Pedro, have you heard of it?
I have, man. Actually, have before you made a post about it. So don't know anyone that's done it before. So you'll be the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So for you guys listening, Texas Water Safari was this race that was invented by two guys who wanted to see how far a river could go. And so it starts in San Marcos, Texas, and it goes to Seadrift, Texas. So the San Marcos River links up with the Guadalupe River, and it's a 260-mile canoe race, and you have a 100-hour time cap.
Whew.
So you have 100 hours to get it done. It starts Friday at 9 a.m. Uh, Based on how we got it dialed up, we should be done sometime Monday. But like I said, I could be in the can. I could be out of pocket next Tuesday for it. But we're looking to try to be done on Monday sometime. We're trying to go for between 75 and 85 hours.
Where are you? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, when I had my mic worked in, plugged in, it didn't work. But how do you allot for time? You know, it's not like you have a lot of experience from it, right? Like, so where do you come up with that sort of estimation?
Well, went for a training run not too long ago, so kind of saw how fast we can move, got used to it. I couldn't go out last weekend because I couldn't get off from coaching, but three of the guys went on an overnight run. We have a road crew that follows us too, like in the captain of our road crew, like they'll meet us at checkpoints along the way. He's done the race before. His name's Dave. It's really awesome. He's leading our crew. We got a couple guys who are in an RV who are going to be like following along, meeting us at checkpoints. And the last training run, between they were really going between 5 and 6 miles per hour during a certain segment. So you figure, give or take, you're moving 4 to 6 miles per hour throughout it, and it should get you to certain checkpoints at certain times. And we've kind of figured that out and done the math, and that gets us, because we're allotting like getting to certain checkpoints, and you'll take like a little cat nap or what have you, and we should be able to knock it out in between 74 and 85 hours. Really depends. A lot can happen. It's branded as the world's toughest canoe race. So I mean, there's a bunch of things that could go wrong, and you can run into issues and all that stuff. There's definitely a fair share of alligators, some wildlife, but man, I'm excited. I'm excited for a new challenge and a new adventure, uh, and it's an opportunity to be kind of unplugged for a while.
Do you, I guess, with the road crew and everything, so you can take, I mean, do we take sleep breaks? How do we do this?
Yeah, like if we get to certain checkpoints by certain times, like we'll take a little cat nap, like not off for an hour,
But
and that's
really,
it.
it's
But
a hammer down and go, huh?
yeah, really, it's a push. It's a fighting through fatigue. If you go on YouTube, if you read some blogs about it, this is definitely one of those races where people are seeing stuff, people are hallucinating. So I'm ready for that. I'm ready to see some shit.
That was me at Killington last year, man. I just kept waiting to see that cat riding a unicorn. It never really popped up for me, but
Yeah, like that's what I'm just trying to see how far the mind and body can go. This is a difficult task. Like it's kind of doing as another form of testimony. I mean, our team signed up for it literally 2 months ago. I've known about the race because our team captain sent me it. He's like, dude, you should do this. And I sent it to a friend of mine. I said, hey, we should do this next year, like in 2026. And he's like, dog, let's do it this year. And I was like, I was like, you want to do a doubles? I was like, I feel like a team would be better. Like it's going to be hard to find people. And we found two more psychos here in Austin who Austin's definitely nothing short of people looking to get down and dirty in it. So I'm stoked.
awesome, dude. You doing this with your boy Billy?
What's that?
Are you doing this with your buddy Billy?
Yeah, Billy Russa, who did the which is crazy enough. Again, yeah, he just did a that last man standing ultra marathon. Where he ran 54 miles or what have you, in 13 hours. So I mean, he's coming right off doing an ultra, and so it's like I'm in good company.
That's awesome, man. What about you, Robert? What's up to you, Pedro? Robert, Pedro, or something you want to call
Man, nothing up with me, dude. Just moving through the paces. Coming out for a really, really good weekend. Just personal wise, I actually got to spend some time on myself and with my wife, and got to see my brother propose to my future sister-in-law. So, and I got nothing crazy like Lombard. Like, then every time we talk to Lombard, like, Lombard, what are you doing? Oh man, I'm doing this race on Mars next week. Me and Elon, we partnered up, man. We're gonna, so I don't have anything cool like that. Best thing I'm working towards, besides, just broker day-to-day stuff, is Texas Trucking Show, man. That's the next thing on my list, dude. Working on a massive after party and doing setting up some giveaways. But other than that, man, just moving through the day. Happy to be awake. Happy to see the sun coming up, and happy to be here with you two fine gentlemen.
I should be there, by the way. I think I'm going to roll up there Saturday night, and I'll be there all day Sunday for the Texas Trucking Show.
Oh, nice, dude. That'd be sweet. I'm trying to. Well, I say I'm trying to. I talked to Evan last year. We did a big old dinner, so I don't know if Evan's going to be there, but I know Hunter will, and now you will. So we're going to do a dinner Friday night, Mike. Is the long story short.
Oh, you're doing it Friday night because I know the show is Saturday and Sunday.
No, we are doing an after party with the Greater Houston Trucking Association on Saturday, but everybody gets in on Friday. So last year, about 15 of us, man, just went and hung out and just had dinner. Nothing special. Literally a dinner just for the homies before all the running around and craziness, and we don't actually get, time to spend together in fellowship,
Yeah, that's good, and I would be up there Friday night too, and I'm kind of sad, but what's unfortunate is I was invited back to this contest on Saturday during the day. There is a belly flop contest of which I was the champion last year. I won $300 at a place in South Austin, and it's on the 21st, and I'm the current reigning champ. I have the belt. I've got a photo of the belt, and I've been asked to to reappear and to go back to back. And so that's in the afternoon on that Saturday. But then I'm going to dart up right after. I'm going to dart down to Houston for it. So I can't let some scrub take the crown.
I feel you. I feel you. Now I misheard you then, but either way, Saturday will be great. And man, that after event that we're having is going to be an absolute blast. Where it was last year was super fun. Same place this year, Kirby's Ice House. We're just moving it inside because it is June in Texas. But yeah, man, it's going to be that whole show is really good, man. It is to me, it's like a more intimate match. It's all indoors for one, which is fantastic. But like, I don't know, there's not as many vendors, and I feel there's a few more builders that go to that. I mean, last year, I would say the trucks they had there were probably easily what they put outside at Matt's Lombard. So it's a really good show, man. And you know, it's not as big. That's why I say it's a little more intimate.
Yeah, I mean, Matt's, you figure, is a mecca. It's in a central location. A lot of people are able to go and attend and socialize. Whereas Texas Trucking Show, like, it's in Houston. Houston's kind of more like harder to get to, depending on like for anybody. I mean, you figure a lot of people can easily come from the Midwest. More freight is moving throughout the Midwest. So Texas Trucking Show, I mean, it's called the Texas Trucking Show, so people from Texas are probably going. Texas, Louisiana. And I could see it being like a little bit more of a close network and intimate type of show, as opposed to being like a mega Goliath.
No, you're right on, man. I mean, I would definitely say it is more of a more regional thing. People from like the South, Southwest, you know, stuff like that. And dude, it is. It's just a good show. We had a blast last year, so that's what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to doing that. You know, it's Lombard. He steps up on every one of his physical races and stuff that he does. I'm trying to step it up on every event that I go to. That's me. I'm trying to level up every single one we go to, get better, do better things, meet more people, make more connections, and deliver more change.
Dude, hell yeah. Speaking of, I did want to pass some knowledge to Iron Minds this morning, which was a great piece of advice I got. There's this gentleman who was listening. I was able to listen in on this conversation yesterday. I want to kind of get your guys' thoughts. This guy, his name's Alan Prushan. He's actually he's one of those guys who's like, he coaches like C-suite dudes, like CEOs and like people at big sports teams and whatnot. Like one of those guys, like one of their mentors. Like, you know, he mentors like freaking 1%ers, billionaires, whatever you want to call it. Super smart, super inspiring guy, kind of like philosophical. And he was given this idea, and he was kind of talking about what it takes to get a result, like a desired result. And he like painted this picture about what can lead up to it, because that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants the result. Everybody wants whatever the end goal is. Like you want a successful Texas Trucking Show. It could be as simple as that. Like, it doesn't matter what the subject matter could be. It could be buying a house. It could be whatever the result it might be. And the result to get a result, it requires action. You need to take the action. But then what's going to supply the action? Like, how do you get the action? Like, what's the reason why you're going to put something into action? And it has to do with mindset. And we talk about mindset a lot on here too, changing that mindset. And how do you change your mindset, and where your mindset actually changes, and how to dial your mindset into performing the right action to get the right result what comes before that is actually context. And this is what's misunderstood, and this is how he explained it, as where these like C-suiters and like corporate strategy people, like people who are designing corporate strategy, they're like, why isn't our strategy working? Why isn't this happening? It has everything to do with context, and where you get the context that is going to turn into your action that will make the result is really boils down to the words, your language. The language you're using is what's going to drive the context that leads to the action that will make the result. And he was essentially kind of talking about it from the point of view of, Literally, it's almost as simple as how you are speaking about things. So if you are, and he did, and it was as simple as, so we take Texas Trucking Show for example. He was going to a networking event recently. He hates networking events, says that, but that's the thing. Every networking event, every event he goes to, that's what he thought about him, because that's what he told himself. Is these events suck. I don't get anything out of it, and he never did until there was a networking event a friend invited him to, and he was saying about how he was looking forward to it, and he ended up, the result was he made a very good connection with somebody at this networking event he didn't think that he was going to have in past ones. So
We got a
to like
question here coming up.
right to your language, right to the language, like how you speak, and especially how you speak about yourself is the number one thing. Yeah,
You
what's
see
the
John's
question?
comment here. The best language to use for when the entire crew is unreceptive to these things. That's a good question.
I guess the language you'd have to use, especially to get that context, is I mean, I would say the language you're using. I mean, starting with the language you're using to yourselves. I mean, I'd say if the crew's unreceptive to what you're saying, think back to how you're saying it. How are you saying it to yourself? How are you describing the message? How are you describing the message? It might be a change in the language. I mean, it might even be wise to start with kind of this timeline that I just described. So if they're unreceptive of it, um, asking why,
Can I?
asking, hey, I would say like, hey, this doesn't seem to resonate with you. You're not responding to it. Is there anything that was unclear? Like I would almost ask follow-up questions to that. But yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I was going to say because you mentioned context, and as soon as you said that, I was thinking perspective. And so when John brought that comment up, my advice would be this: is you need to understand their context, their frame of reference, their perspective. If their people aren't going to hit your goals, they might hit their goals. And so maybe the action is we need to help frame it in a context that they can bite onto.
Yeah, I'd say it's got to be something that's in their language, so to speak, which is why a lot of times um, when I talk about like weight loss and for people in the industry, I mean, the language, you use the language of everybody in this industry, especially when you talk to drivers, people have a lot of value for family. People talk about how valuable, like they love their family. They'll do anything. Like people love saying, I'll do anything for my family. My kids are the most important. Like this is the most important thing in my life. And it's like great. And by active listening, when somebody tells me that they'll do anything for their family, that they're the most important things in their life, I reiterate that back. Okay, so your kids are the most important thing in your life, right? You would do anything for your kids. Is that what I'm hearing you saying? Yes. Okay, so by you saying you'll do anything for your children, what do you think about doing XYZ? What do you think about being able to hit these goals? Like that's great. You'll die for them. Your kids don't want you to die for them. Your kids do want you to live for them. And like that's language that that's language that I think can drive the context for really anybody, because that's great. You're great. You'll die for your family. That's honorable. That's awesome. Unfortunately, like this isn't the Middle Ages. The opportunity to die for your family is few and far between. Like, yeah, we read about it on the news. That's great. You have a micro percent of a chance to die for your family. And that's brave. Anybody should. We're like born with that. But like, guess what? Your kids don't want you to die for them. They need you to live for them. And I'm sure you need to be in a position to where your kids aren't just to have you around, aren't just pushing you around in a wheelchair. I'm sure you'd love to actually be a participant in their lives. And it's very possible to do that by doing these small little things like what you're seeing this morning, like just drinking more water, like the littlest things can do that. And then that's how you can be better for your family. So yeah, you're right, Nick, like using language that applies to them, and then finding how to using a little bit of active listening on what their language is, and then seeing how you can fine tune it.
And John's follow-up here, it's not about setting the goals, it's about getting them to realize they need to do something in the first place. I'm going to stick by my comment, though. This is what I've learned after a long time in recovery, all right, is you can't make people do anything. And even if you do, they're going to resent you for it. So to help them find that, it's not that they realizing people need to do something. That's what we talk about all the time here. I mean, literally half the purpose of this show is helping others realize that they have the opportunity and that they can do something. But I mean, if we just get on here telling other people how to live all the time, we're not going to have anybody watch the show. So there's a difference between telling somebody else what they need to do and then maybe helping them see the path. And I think it comes back to what Lombard started with, asking questions. Like, why are they there in the first place? What do they want in the first place? We often too assume, and I'll tell you what, a lot of people say things like my family as a default because they don't know why they're doing it. And so it takes a deeper conversation. You know, the relationship you have with a child, for example, is different when that child can't feed or bathe itself and different when they're 12 or 13 years old. And so our why evolves, our purpose evolves, the things that we care about evolve. So have the question. You know, they probably don't know.
Yeah, I'd say that's true. I mean, it's true of a lot of people. I think finding your why is the most important thing, because everybody I've talked to, and and I'm blessed every day that I get to work and be in the community that I'm in, especially at On It Gym. I mean, these are some of the best coaches in the world that I've been able to talk to and learn from, and especially this gentleman Juan Lahia. I mean, he himself has a epic transformation. If you look at older pictures of him, you think it's crazy he ever looked at like that. And now he has guys like Lance Armstrong who come to his gym. He is the fitness director of everything going on at On It. And by all means, he looked quite disheveled years ago but once you find your why, and this is stuff that he talks about in other people, because once you have a why, then you can't lose. When you really have a why and that purpose, you can't lose, because that becomes everything. And if it's really everything, then you would do anything for it. Then the idea of not drinking either ever again or only drinking once a month becomes easy. Then the idea of working out everything becomes easier once you have the why and the purpose behind that why.
One of the reasons that people, good morning there, Pop Talk on Trucking, who is hiring and needs more drivers.
There we go.
I used to complain about routine. Oh, it's so boring. It's so this. I hate routine. And a lot of people do as well. Routine is how you are efficient. And the thing is that these hard things, that big why that I need just to get started, that first thing, like you said, once I do it and continue to do it, it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it becomes a routine. And once it's a routine, it's just something that you do, like breathing, like pouring coffee in the morning. It just, this is my new normal. Or as Goggins talk about it, my new norm, this is my life. Or as you mentioned, this is the standard for my life. This is what I do.
There we go. We got some advertising going on here. Pop Truck on Trucking. If you're watching YouTube Live, Twitter, hiring drivers, all government loads. Seems to be good work out there. There we go. I'll tell you what, Pop Truck on Trucking is an avid listener whenever I'm going live. Person from what I could take is very hungry on their goals, very passionate about the industry. So if you're watching this, go give them a subscribe or go shoot them a DM. What are your thoughts?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask Pedro his thoughts.
Man, I don't think I could articulate it any better than you two gentlemen have, except maybe the one thing I could add to that is ownership, man. I'm real big when I was a leader. It's Nick, you kind of touched on it, dude, and as an addict, you can't make somebody do something, you know what I mean? Like, they have to do it. Even if you're paying them to do it, they still have to have the will to want to earn that money for said job. That said, my biggest thing that I learned was ownership, man. Finding a way to make the people that I want to implement the change have some part of ownership in said change. Maybe an idea that they have is put within the plan, or we all had a meeting, and even if nothing that they wanted is in it, they still got to put their input in it. And then you give them individual goals, make them have a piece of ownership of it and say, hey, if you don't do this, everyone else is going to fail because this is your position and your role, your duty within this. And we depend on you, and find a way to give each person a piece of that. So that way the entire team depends on each other and themselves to make sure that the overall end goal is achieved. So I'm like that. I'm a big ownership person. Like, let me feel that I have a direct play in this, and I'm going to give you a lot more of my effort and push harder for us to achieve what needs to be achieved.
Actually, that's one of the things I talked about at BCS. I said how I need that to be fully engaged. I need to be part of something bigger than myself for me to be all of myself. It's like I'll step up for others and I'll step up for a community more than I'll rise for myself, which actually circles back to how we kicked off the conversation, the way that we talk to ourselves. And it is crazy because I guarantee you, I'm not in your heads, but I'm going to make this statement anyway. If somebody else talked to you the way that you talk to you, you'd probably beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, right. Isn't that the dang truth?
In my life, if anyone ever talked to somebody that I barely even know the way that I talk to myself, I would beat that person down. And yet that's how I talk to myself. And so it starts with that, man. Absolutely. The way that we talk to ourselves is how our mind listens, our body responds. Words matter. Mindset matters.
I was literally just watching a reel before we hopped on here, and it was like, it showed like a brief Rogan clip where he's talking about how, like, when it comes to these elite athletes, he was talking about how much he loves how elite athletes have this sort of, like, how some of their ego operates. And again, ego can be good and bad. I don't think that, like, there's obviously I think a limit and a fine line. It's one thing to have an ego to where you believe that you're more valuable than other people, and that you're better in different ways than other people, to where you could take advantage of them. Like, some people's egos force them to, where they won't. Like, I think we kind of know where ego's a bad thing, but when it comes to these elite athletes, and then it showed a bunch of clips of guys like Cristiano Ronaldo and other guys, like, essentially circling around, of all of them saying, like, I am the best, like, just saying out loud how they are the greatest, how they will outwork, like, you, when I come out there, you're going to know that I'm the best. And how they're speaking. And it seems like, and it's crazy to hear. And of course, and then when you think about that, you're like, oh, well, of course, like, Ronaldo is one of the greatest of all time. Of course, he's going to speak about himself that way. But again, Cristiano Ronaldo puts his fucking pants on the same way I do every morning. Like, there is nothing, if you shoot him in the arm, he's going to bleed just as much as I do. But he's been talking to himself that way his entire life. So, like, you have to quantify that. Like, there is a reason why he's gotten to that level, is because he's always probably spoken to himself in that high regard, even in failure, speaking to themselves in high regard. I've said this a bunch right after the Super Bowl. When the team who loses the Super Bowl, like, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs this year, do you think all those NFL players went home and are like, you know what? Like, I'm trash. I can't believe I even tried this. Why am I playing football anymore? Like, poor me. Like, no, they got right back to the lab. Like, losing the Super Bowl has got to be one of the most detrimental feelings to make it that long, that hard, that physical of a season. And then they've got to get back up and go back to OTAs and spring training and the training camps, and work through preseason and start that game all over again. And I think people, as the consumer, we think that that's just easy because it's entertainment, but it's pretty hard to do, is to lose the Super Bowl or lose the Stanley Cup final, lose all after all that, and then keep doing it. It's because they're speaking to themselves in a way of, man, I can get better. Man, I'm this good and I can keep getting better. I'm going to keep getting better.
I like it, because if you don't believe it, you can't achieve it. So what's the big goal? Yeah. I know you got that coming up. I got the Spartan race coming up in Utah in July, but to be honest, that's just going to be a fun run, because all eyes are on Ironman for me. Buddy,
Yeah,
Pedro?
same.
How's the goal progress coming?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goal progress is still good, man. Everything's moving along, dude. I mean, I'm just kind of in. I don't know. I don't want to say. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the term, man. I'm just in the zone, man. In the mode. I'm just doing all the things that. Yeah, all the things that I picked up over the last 9 months. That have shown me results, and just continuing with them, man. I think I weighed myself on a few days ago was 283.9. So I'm 4 pounds away from my next goal. Starting a new sleep schedule, man. Trying to be up. I usually get up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, but now I'm trying to get up at 5. Well, I say try. I am getting up at 5, so I can give myself 30 minutes in the morning to do whatever the hell I want. Even if it's just sit on my couch and stare at a blank TV, I just want 30 minutes to myself because, that's my new thing, man. I work from home. I wake up and I feel like I'm immediately in front of my dang computer without no time for myself. So that's the new thing, man. So making little changes. Goals are locked in. 280 is my next goal. Food stuff is going good. Protein intake, water intake, everything's going great. I am, because of you two, I don't know when it is going to be a goal, but I do want to do.
What?
Dang, he just froze.
All the time.
He left us. He
I
left us
find it
hanging.
comfortable.
Oh, wait, stop. You
Huh?
froze. You said, I do want to do I think you froze.
Oh, okay. I said I do want to do, and I don't have a timeline on it. I don't know which one I want to do or whatever, but I've got in my mind now that I want to eventually do some sort of race or a marathon, just something besides going to the gym, something to put myself out there with another group of people. And I don't even want to say test my abilities, man, but I guess just show myself where I came from, being a lethargic 318-pound individual on the edge of death pretty much, to being able to be healthy enough to run a race or a marathon or whatever it is. And so I made that decision a few days ago. I know it just came into my mind. I was reading a book, and they were talking about setting goals, which a lot of books do, and I was like, I haven't set any new goals lately, like besides my weight. Like that's it. I just keep lowering my weight goal, and I was like, what's a good one? What's something I never in a million years would say I would want to do this? And a race or a marathon was the first thing that popped in my mind, because there is no way I'm just going to go out and run for fun like you two crazy psychopaths.
I don't run for fun. I run for a lifestyle. I run so I train for life. I run for the same reasons that you are, because I needed to set big goals and do something different. So I love it.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's it, man. That's the new thing I'm working on. And honestly, I kind of want to. I don't know. I think I kind of want to find some type of like super amateur Spartan race. I think if I was going to do something, those to me would be the most fun. I mean, I can go walk long distances by my damn self. Like, I really don't feel like I need to just walk down concrete. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is some type of like thing that's in the outdoors, in the woods, maybe, some obstacles, obviously, that my condition can handle with my leg. But so again, don't have a timeline on it. Don't know. I need to feel like I'm physically able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And, so that's the new thing, guys.
Well, we're going to keep talking about it.
You would have said fucking hell. So congrats on that.
Week after week, we're going to keep talking about it and make it a reality, brother.
Yeah, dude, and I want to, man. Like I said, like thinking about a goal, man. Like I'm at that point of like, and I think everyone has to get to that point of, we set goals of like, oh, I want to make $100,000 this year. Well, why not say I want to make 250? And I say that to say a lot of people make goals that everyone else makes that I would say easily or attainable, but are just like default answers. Oh, I want a new car. Okay, well, make a goal of doing something crazy. Like my brother and sister-in-law went climb Mount Everest a few months ago. You know what I mean? Like that was just some crazy goal they came up with as a married couple before they had kids. They wanted to climb Mount Everest. So I say that to say, like, I don't know, I'm trying to make stuff that takes me out of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? And doing something like a race or a marathon, like that would be extremely out of my comfort zone. So, and I think everyone should do that, man. Think of a goal that takes you out of your comfort zone, that makes you uncomfortably comfortable. And I know people say that a lot in the fitness world, but I think it is probably the truest thing that when it gets to success in anything is make yourself uncomfortable, because when you are uncomfortable, you do everything in your power to make yourself comfortable in that situation and make that thing just like it's any other given Sunday. You know what I mean?
Drop mic, baby. I'm going to leave it
Drop
at that.
the
Lombard,
mic
you want to leave
there.
this with anyone else?
On the money, dude.
Mike, you want to wrap? You want to leave us with anything else? Or you think he just dropped the mic?
No, I think that's the mic drop there. Yeah, set some big goals this week. Figure something out. If you're listening to this, whatever it could be, reach out to me, Nick, or Pedro, whatever that goal is. There's nothing too loft. Set it big, and just fail forward along the way. And dude, let's get after it the rest of this week.
Let's go, baby. Iron sharpens iron. Live inspired. Let's go. See you, gents.
Have a great day, guys.
Figure this out.